4-string bass, passive, 21 frets, normal. And in 21 frets is the whole universe. There is a conception that bass players have that I think is a mistake. And the mistake is they say the more strings you can play more music. I say the more music you have, the more you will play music. Bass players have a desire to play a lot of solos, so they add strings. I have a desire to play solos, so I add notes, music, harmony, a new way to look at the instrument. Also, the sound of my instrument only goes to 21 frets, so it still sounds like a bass. When you go higher strings, you lose the bass sound, so it isn't special anymore. When you can play these lines and still sound like a bass in 21 frets, it means today I play like this. Tomorrow I'll play like this. The next day maybe I can play it like this. It isn't the bass, it's the bass player.
When the jazz was sort of created, the bass players did not have a great knowledge of the instrument. There was mostly it was trombone players who pick up the bass because there was need for bass, but there was no bass player. So technically the bass player was very disadvantaged. You know, they didn't know the instrument. So from this they could only play boom, 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 boom. So this is how jazz was created, with this role of bass in it, right? And on top of that, due to the fact that the bass player couldn't play, because the trombone player was just beginning to learn the bass. So they created actually a definite jazz setting for which continued for a very long time. And then you have some bass players who came along, like myself and a few others, who could play the instrument very well. And then what do we do with it now? Because it was like when we start playing a little bit more, it was like, hey, what are you doing? You know, play boom, boom, boom. You know, everybody in the band says, so what am I supposed to do? I can play the bass, you know, and you want me to pretend like I can't play the bass? You know, it's like very conflict. So I arrived at a solution that basically I'm not really playing bass as a bass. I'm playing both two things. A bass, I'm touching on the root of the bass notes, and then I'm playing like a second voice because I just can't play only. I have to be part of the music. I have to talk to the other musicians. I have to communicate.
You have to love music to be a bass player. If you love bass, you play it and you do it for the love of music. I did not become a bass player to get famous. I did not become a bass player to get on the web, on your interview. I didn't get on to be a bass player to make money. I became a bass player for love of music, and hopefully I make money, and hopefully I get an interview, and hopefully I can play in front of people. But I became a bass player to play music. The first source of a musician is here. I got to play. If you've got that, you can survive the music industry, because there's going to be many days that the industry does not be friendly to you. And you have to say, well, that's typical. That's just the industry that I'm in, but I love to play. So I'll play clubs, I'll write music, I'll take lessons, I'll make my calls, you know, to make concerts, if I get no results, I still must play, and that's the first source. You've got to love to play. That's the bass player for me.
Well, you have to be a musician first, not a technician. It is a great advantage to know the instrument and have a great technique, but it is only a tool for you to be able to speak. Like you know more words in a language than perhaps other people, so you can express yourself better. And so it's like a tool for speaking, communicating to the other musicians. This is the way I look at it.
There is a whole community of bass players who have not created something special for themselves. It's a hard thing to decide to do something special in your instrument. It takes a long time. And I've discovered for myself that it was important to find something new all the time, because it means that I don't sound like another bass player. So that's for me the purpose, to find something new, some other way to approach the instrument.